as a young kid. I was constantly listening to my father on the phone speaking to people from all around the world doing different deals. And he had this really strange way of changing his tone of voice, changing even his accent sometimes, and I was always sort of fascinated. He's sort of adapting to become a worldwide person and doing business with all kinds of interesting people from all kinds of different cultures and connecting with these people. That, for me, I think was some sort of a seed that was planted in my brain. There's always like these ideas running through my head, but I didn't know enough. And I realized that I think what makes sense is to work in a kind of a career job, establish and understand how business actually works, which found me later recruited to Dubai about 13 years ago. I worked for a couple of years until I started my first company, which is a company that I then sold after about 4 or 5 years in operations to build up ekar. I wanted to make maybe a bigger social impact. We started discussing car share. What I did know was that for every car that is shared is 10 owned cars off the road. It reduces traffic, reduces need for parking, reduces, of course, then CO2 emissions. This is the thing that I was looking for. January 15th, 2017, we launched out with 100 cars in partnership with the RTA in Dubai. I actually flew my father in, seeing the joy in his face that his son had been able to put together something like this. One of my proudest moments. And then we both kind of were like, okay, what's next? 2019, ekar was the highest utilized free-floating car share service in the world. And that's our Dubai service. At that time, we had done something around 40,000 metric tons of CO2 emission savings in the UAE alone. When we came out of COVID, we had our own software, and now we were able to empower the car rental industry, releasing out Mobility OS to the largest car rental companies on the planet for them to then inject their own cars into short-term mobility, one of the biggest milestones we've ever had. So we're at the neighborhood now of 3,500 cars, and that number will grow to 11,000 cars by the end of this year. We're in 4 countries now. We're looking at adding 2 more. The personal feeling of satisfaction for running a business is the smallest component of the entire business itself. What I get the most amount of joy from is the people that I work with, and just knowing that we're making an impact to literally hundreds of thousands of people. That, for me, is the major joy.